All right, folks, it does pain me a little bit to admit this, but another crypto is outperforming XRP with a 212% pump over the last few days. We're going to give you guys the ticker. We're going to explain what just happened. And yes, I am going to admit that another crypto, it did outperform XRP over just the past few days, though, okay? So we'll give them that. We also got to talk about the SEC versus Ripple case concluding. We have the XRP correction also wrapping up. China responding to tariffs this morning, but we get the inflation report and inflation is coming back down. And then the final update's going to be on Trump, the first president to sign a crypto bill into law, how important that one is for our DeFi space. And we've been talking about XRP DeFi exploding this year. Perfect timing for that. And the market has bounced back up today, so let's get right on into it. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. And as you guys know, all of our community resources are available at zachrector.com. I do want to apologize for no live show last night, attending to some family matters last night, but we're back and we're back at it here with you guys, okay? So thank you for stopping by. Let's rock and roll. China raising tariffs on U.S. goods from 84% to 125%. They're not backing down. China says, we don't need you, never did. Whoa, easy there, President Xi, easy. Just broke his silence on the U.S. trade war mess, making it crystal clear Beijing's not begging and definitely not blinking. Well, we'll see about that. For over 70 years, China's development has relied on self-reliance and hard work, never on handouts from others, and it is not afraid of any unjust suppression. Regardless of how the external environment changes, China will remain confident, stay focused, and concentrate on managing its own affairs well. And they should, because they're in some trouble over there in their economy, by the way. He called trade wars unwinnable, but made it clear China's not folding, no matter how hot it gets. So we are playing it tough for now, okay? We'll be watching that. The good news is that even though, China responded here with the tariffs, the market's back up today. The market's loving what it sees here. Inflation on the producer prices, wholesale inflation, falling to 2.7%, below expectations of 3.3. That is way down. Inflation's coming down so much now that people are going to start to get worried about being in a recession. And you're already seeing those worries, concerns, and comments from Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock this morning, citing that we very well could be in a recession already. And, for me, I just laugh because we were talking about being in a recession, having depressed growth in America since 2022. So a lot of these guys are late. Not only are they late to calling the recession, they're late to crypto, but that's okay. BlackRock, they're going to be shilling it. The suit's selling it with slideshow presentations. You already know that deal. Core PPI inflation falls to 3.3, below expectations of 3.6. We just saw the first month-over-month decline in PPI inflation, down 0.4% since March 2024. Both CPI and PPI inflation are down sharply. So inflation's coming down, but now the talking head pundits will be telling us it's because our economy's in turmoil because of the big bad orange man. You guys know the deal. But speaking of the big bad guy, Trump makes history signaling, signing the first crypto bill into law. We got the scoop here from Eleanor Terrett. And this was the controversial DeFi broker rule, which essentially was trying to get everybody to come into compliance with their DeFi protocols. Okay. This rule would have undermined American leadership on cryptocurrency, and I am grateful to President Trump for signing my resolution into law. This is from Ted Cruz. Okay. The resolution is a victory for innovation, privacy, and economic freedom. We are protecting the developers who are building the future of cryptocurrency, making clear that the United States will not cede digital leadership to China, and preserving the ability of Americans to conduct transactions without government interference. There you go. Now, this bill would have basically the controversial rule introduced in the final days of the Biden administration. While our country's falling apart, one of the last things that the Biden administration wanted to sneak in here was this DeFi broker rule, which essentially would have required decentralized crypto entities such as exchanges without a central governing body to comply with traditional IRS reporting requirements. Specifically, it would have mandated DeFi platforms to collect and send customer data, as well as information on gross proceeds from crypto sales to the IRS. Is the IRS going to exist anymore? That's the question I got. Critics argued that the mandate was overly burdensome, risked stifling innovation, invaded user privacy, and would have significantly hindered growth in the DeFi sector. It's gone. It's done. Your president, Donald J. Trump, has signed this, the first crypto bill, into law. Love to see it. Something else that we love to see, the SEC and Ripple coming together, making love. That's right, folks. Check it out from James Phelan. Yesterday, the parties have filed a joint motion to hold the appeal in abeyance based on the parties' agreement to settle. This case is over. Nobody wanted to take it from Stu. Nobody wanted to listen to Brad. Nobody wants to listen to me. Well, here's the filing confirming that the parties want to hold off on the appeal process so they can settle it up. And who's been talking about handing off this case to Paul Atkins on a silver platter? I said, yeah, there's a chance that this might get settled up without Paul Atkins, but it would just be perfect and a great welcoming gesture to the now confirmed SEC chair Paul Atkins for him to come in, and this one gets handed off to him on a silver platter. Here you go, sir. You can now bring in Brad Garlinghouse, and we can parade the darling of the crypto space, the company Ripple, around. And the president, I mean, Paul Atkins commented on this before he was SEC commissioner about how important this case was. And so I think it's going to be a very strategic settlement here. And the good news is that Ripple and XRP has full clarity going forward, XRP not being a security. And Ripple, if they can get that injunction lifted, then they will have no concerns about selling XRP to institutional investors. They'll be just, and they never stopped, by the way, either. They just restructured how they've done it. It's just getting that injunction's very important, I think, for the perception of their partners and people that they want to sell their services to. To have that injunction, I think, does help their case a little bit. But obviously, clearly, they've been selling billions of XRP during the lawsuit, which to me confirmed that they already restructured those contracts as to make them not investment contracts going forward. Otherwise, they would have got themselves into more trouble, but they didn't. So the settlement is awaiting commission approval. Like I said, silver platter to Paul Atkins. No brief will be filed on April 16th. That's next week. And that was the original date that the appeal brief had to be filed from Ripple. That's over. This case is done. Okay? And many people still need their hand held. They need to wait till the official headline comes out, okay, before we could say that it's confirmed. But don't you get it? That's the whole game. Everybody, they got mad. What did I title my video yesterday? I forget what it was called. It was, what did I call it? Parabolic move coming. And no, it was the other day. I said confirmed on something else. It was one of my other videos. And I said confirmed. And boy, were people triggered by that word, confirmed, right? XRP trillions confirmed. That's what I said. Because Ripple acquired Hidden Road and they settle $3 trillion on a yearly basis. And Ripple confirmed that a portion of that liquidity will be coming to the XRP ledger. And I ran you through the math on how little time it would take, even with just a portion of that liquidity, for us to be settling trillions. But I can't say confirmed yet because it hasn't happened. But don't you get it? This is how you knock it out of the freaking park, is you make the bet before it's confirmed, before the headline comes out for the masses to read it. That's where the big money's made, okay? And that's the game that I'm in, right? If you're not comfortable making that bet, that's okay. But that's the game that I'm in, is making the bet, making the call, saying that it's confirmed before it's confirmed. That's the whole game. 200 million XRP on the move from Ripple to an unknown wallet. Boy, have we seen some big whale movements lately from Ripple, from unknown wallets. A lot of movements here of big amounts of XRP, and I think that that's only going to pick up from here. Now let's get into it. I mentioned at the top of this episode, the XRP did get outperformed by a little crypto called XCN. I'm going to talk about it here in a second. But the important thing to note here is that XRP's correction is concluding. This thing is wrapping up, and just like I titled the video yesterday, the parabolic move is coming. Now, we got my good friend here, Bunny Boy, with a little XRP market cap chart update. Remember, this is not XRP versus US dollar. This is the XRP market cap chart, which shows the completion of the ABC correction. The question is, will we go down for a triple zigzag? But the market cap XRP chart was able to hit the 0.886 fib, and we also back tested and bounced off the prior low. If we clear 220, we are bullish. If we lose $1.92, we are most likely bullish. So there you go. Those are the levels to watch. XRP back up today with the rest of the market. So as long as we can hold this, it looks like we have finalized that ABC correction. Now, XRP is looking good, but over the past few days, we had a little pump. We had a little pumper. XCN and the update from Chain. Now, is it pumping because they're going to become ISO 222 compliant? No, but I did want to share this here. The Chain team plans to work closely with Onx DAO to ensure that ISO compliance is achieved for the XCN Layer 1 blockchain network. So they are going to come into compliance with ISO. Is that why they are pumping? No. I believe that they are pumping because there's a guy here on the internet. You might know him. He calls himself the Economic Ninja. And if you look here at the Ninja, it's funny. A huge respect to the Ninja, by the way. I do like the Ninja. And maybe I can connect or collab with him in the future. But we watched, he started talking about XCN a while ago, about a month ago, and maybe sooner. But I had first seen his videos on it a little bit ago. And I had picked up a bag of XCN as well, too. I saw the momentum on it. I came in late. I got in a little over a penny. And I had already sold off 75% of my bag when it did this first run up. And XCN pumped about 4,000%. It just went on a tear. I mean, this thing just went nuts. And so I saw that, Ninja had been talking about it. And then out of the blue, a few days ago, I saw people in the comments were telling me people were telling me XCN's better than XRP. XCN's pumping. You got to check it out. What's up with XCN? XCN's up 60% today. So I said, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? Well, and then sure enough, I come and I take a look here on X and I see, I'm showing you Economic Ninja's Twitter here, his pinned tweet right now. Oh, wait, no, I guess he just updated. He literally just updated it. Okay, let me go back and find his post because he had pinned the tweet up here. Where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, boy, I lost it. Did he delete it? Oh, now I'm going to look silly because he deleted it. Where did he put it? It's gone. Well, maybe I missed it. Okay, but basically, Economic Ninja, he put out a post, he put out a video saying that he sold half of his XRP for XCN. So basically, I'm sharing this, there's been some hype generated on XCN again lately was the point. I seem to have lost Economic Ninja's tweet. I don't know if it got deleted or what. But basically, he had pinned it up on his post. I had it queued up here, but when I went to refresh the page there, it didn't load. But you can believe me on that one. And so I'd seen this after about a day had gone by, and everybody was asking about XCN. And then sure enough, I see that Ninja had posted that he'd sold half of his XRP to buy XCN. And so the thing is Economic Ninja, he has a great platform. A lot of people follow him. And this thing just sent. And I'm going to show you here using the market cap multiplier, the same one that I've used, the same equation that I've used for calculating XRP and how quickly XRP can move. I'm going to show you how little liquidity had to come into XCN to pump this sucker up in a massive way. So basically, it starts getting pumped up. It starts getting hyped again. Here's the chart on XCN right here for you guys. And let me go back to this one. Yeah. So you can see this thing pumped 4,000% after the election, just went ballistic. It corrected by 84%, major drawdown from that peak, 84%. But in the past 3 days, it is up 212%. Just a massive rally from below 1 penny to up here to 2 cents right now, basically 2.25. Okay. So what I did is I went to CoinGlass, and this is where I get my inflows. And so you see right here, XCN spot inflow and outflow data. And so what we look here is over the past few days, go back to April 8th, it had 1 million of inflows. April 9th, it had 1.3 million of inflows. And then yesterday, April 10th, it had 2.79 million of inflows. So in the last few days, it's only had 5 million of inflows, 5.14 million to be exact. And the market cap on XCN has increased by 484 million. So I'll show you the market cap chart here on CoinGecko. You're looking at it right here. And what you see, a few days ago, we were down at basically 287 million. That's where I measured from, 287 million. And I measured up here to this peak, which was 771 million. So that's a difference of 484 million in market cap growth. Now, what this equates to is a market cap multiplier of 94x. And this is basically simple math here. You have 5 million of inflows and the market cap grew by almost 500 million. So that's a factor of 100. So what we've been demonstrating here time and time again, not just with XRP, but here with XCN today, is that guys don't understand how to apply market cap analysis when looking at these cryptos and understanding how little liquidity needs to come in or go out for these coins to move dramatically. So this was a factor of nearly 100x. Basically 5 million came into XCN, and the market cap on XCN, because it's a low cap, and we call these low cap gems, right? And the reason why we call them low cap gems is because they're so freaking easy to move, right? You get, literally, one guy, maybe a few other guys. I know a couple other people have been talking about XCN. It's starting to get a little bit of popularity, but all it took was 5 million of inflows into the asset because it was so small, right? Only at a couple 100 million market cap. 5 million coming in juiced the sucker by nearly 500 million, nearly $500 million in market cap growth off of 5 million of inflows. That's why these coins, they get so interesting here. And XCN just went on a tear over the past couple of days. Now, if you guys haven't already, you can watch my XCN deep dive. This is in my 2025 coin review playlist, and you can get my full fundamental analysis on XCN. There's been a couple updates to the staking and everything since I've recorded that update, but my analysis from a fundamental basis and the technical analysis and the targets that I've set still remain the same. I think that this coin's going to struggle to break its previous all-time high, which is about 18 cents. But clearly what we're demonstrating here and what we've seen today is that it's not going to take much liquidity to come into this coin for it to go back up to that 5-cent level that it achieved in January to maybe pop up to 10 cents. And that's where my targets remain for XCN. And from 10 cents to that all-time high of 18 cents, it might stretch up there. But I think it's going to struggle to break that previous all-time high. And I could be wrong, and I'd be glad to be wrong. And I'm still holding on to a chunk of my XCN bag that I had originally. And this is exactly why, right? I took profit on 75% of my XCN, holding a bag still, watching it come back up, and my bag is now back in profit. And I'll be looking to take profit as this coin crosses over the 10-cent level. I'm not going to get too greedy and wait for it to go to a new all-time high or anything crazy like that. When you hit a 5 or a 10 bagger, you knocked it out of the park, right? Do your bat flip, run around the bases, and celebrate the victory. We don't got to get too greedy here during this bull run. And XCN, another coin here that I noted, had fundamentals, had hype, and that's all it takes in this crypto space is you have to have enough fundamentals to generate a narrative that's not just pumping it up based off of fluff, but something, there's some meat on the bone, and then you get a couple guys talking about it, and then that's all it takes. 5 million inflows, $500 million market cap growth. That's the power of this cryptocurrency opportunity here. It takes so little liquidity coming in for these assets to go on an absolute tear. So shout out to everybody that's making boatloads of money on XCN. And I think that what we've seen here is that the news of China responding to tariffs, inflation coming back down, yes, it's presenting some concerns, but the market's just responding very well today, almost as if we're kind of over the trade war. We've kind of had time to digest it all, and now we're moving back up. And so let's stay locked in. Let's stay focused here. Incredible opportunities across the cryptocurrency space. Yes, I will admit that there are some other coins that are going to do all right, and that's why we pick up a little bag, and that's why we get ready to take that money and run, because we also understand these projects have a lot to prove, and XCN is one of them. So we'll continue to follow up as it comes in. I appreciate you guys for stopping by here today. All of our resources are available at zachrector.com. And on the way out, if you appreciate what we're doing, if you could like this video, I would greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.